I wake up 5 o'clock in the morning. Before I come in my farm, I drink 2 cups of my coffee. That's why I tell myself, thank you, Lord, that I drink again my best coffee.
I like farming because I born with that. I born with that in the Philippines. That's my job in the Philippines. I plant rice, I plant tobacco, and then I come Hawaii. I still do the farming. I love farming. Yeah.
My first field I planted from the very beginning. So you got to get your machine and equipment in there, form your land, usually as flat as possible because it helps with maintenance. And then you start planting your coffee trees in rows. We would go to a field, a wild coffee field outside, and pull the coffee up and plant them. It takes 2 years for them to produce. But the more maintenance on your trees, the faster they grow. So what we're doing here is we're desuckering the trees so that we can have airflow through them, and they have a lot better chances of growing faster. You take off all the feeds, and in about 2 years you can have coffee on your trees.
Farmers that have farm here, they work on their farm. Like some other coffee farms, the owner don't work. But for us being the farmer, we have to attend to our plants. That's it.
You know, it's just a farmer mentality. It's a rotation of every day, doing the same thing, and see how much you can handle. That's what the farmer tries to do. He works from early morning to late at night, sometimes early morning again, you know, and has a few hours sleep. It's a continuous struggle to farm and to get your coffee out there and to put that smile on your face and to, you know, get out there and do it. So it takes a special person to be a coffee farmer.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
our coffee is ready for harvest, we get hand-picked coffee. So we have actual people who come out in our fields and select red ripe coffee, cherry, for us to pick. When a coffee is ripe, it's much sweeter, the sugar's contents are higher, and the taste is better. You know, just like any other fruit, same with an orange. If you pick a green orange, you'll get a bad flavor. So we choose to do coffee when it's red. That just carries on out in the processing. When we start to process our coffees, the flavor and the body of the coffee comes out a lot better.
When the hardest thing, if you know more pickers. Yeah, and that's the number one. Even though how plenty coffee you had, if you know more picker, no good too.
Pickers come and pickers go. That's how it is, you know, out in the agricultural world. So giving them small stuff, you know, having them work for a little bit higher wage or helping them out, get to work.
Since we started, we have these same pickers. That is so good. 20 years ago, they were already our pickers. Then now they have their children, because that's how they are. You treat them nicely, they come back.
Sí, porque no se les mete el agua. Oh, sí. Las botas más caras que tengo. Tenemos que ganar mucho dinero para irnos a gastárnoslo a Washington. Vamos a ir al casino. Yeah.
I do HVACing. So HVACing is heating and air systems in the houses. That's construction. And this job, coffee, it's like a stress reliever. People say there's no work. And it's funny because here there's a lot of work, which is kind of weird.
During our season, depending on what coffee type you have, you probably can go through between 6 rounds, or you can go between 12 rounds or 13 rounds during the whole season because of the variety of the coffee you have. For me, I have 2 varieties, so I catch the beginning, the middle, and the end of the season, so it kind of never stops. You got to prepare for that next season. And if you still have berries on the tree, it gets black, it falls down, and it keeps the flowers from coming out for the next season. So maintenance and, you know, picking all your coffee off the trees and cleaning your field is very important. So when the coffee gets home, we process them through a pulper, which removes the skin from the coffee. After we pulp our coffee and soak our coffee, if we're washing it, we got to get up early the next morning and wash the mucilage off the coffee and load them onto racks to get dry.
Now nice and clean, ready for dry.
There's a certain percentage that we need to dry it to, so we need to get it out there as fast as we can and keep the moisture off it.
After pulping, we dry it over here. If the weather is no good, because the moisture will go up and it takes too long to dry, so that's the time for us to bring it inside the big dryer. And over there is no more moisture because it's covered.
Coffee is stored when they're at dryness between 12% moisture and 9% moisture. So what the farmer usually does is he puts them into these Grain Pro bags which hold their moisture in, and then he bags them into burlap bags, tightens them off. Coffee can stay for a very long time in that state. It depends on the moisture in the room, so having coffee in a temperature controlled room is very important when storaging. The loss from cherry to what's ever in your cup is massive. 100 pounds of cherry makes you 20 pounds of parchment or something like that. Big steps, a lot of big steps between the planting of the farm to the drinking of the cup.
Well, all the hard work when I had working here in a farm, working in plantation, working before. My kids now, I'm very happy because they had education. They had good job. That's why I'm very happy. Even my heart, a million to my kids. Not million to the pocket, that money.
My girls know what it takes. So, hopefully they've been talking about it, and it'll be interesting, to get them back and working the land like way back. That is what my ancestors used to do, as Hawaiian people. They used to work the land. Obviously, as a farmer, you have a goal every year that you try to set, but taking care of my farm, just the most important thing to me. Yeah, and my family.